Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. 7:03. All to order. You want to do the roll call, such as it is?
Beckwith,
Here.
Caldwell absent, Deal,
Here.
Farkapisi absent, Kotsinis,
Here.
Nimi,
Here.
and Sheldon absent. We have a quorum.
All right, pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning.
Hi, I'm Ed Christon. I will be your security this evening. Just for public record, the restrooms are located just east of the entrance across from checkout. The vending is available just past the self-checkouts from there. Your closest emergency exit is here. In the event that is unusable, there is another one on the northwest side of adult nonfiction. In the case of an emergency, please wait for staff directions and make way for emergency vehicles. And if you have any needs whatsoever, myself and Will be here at the front desk.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. Or thanks, Eddie.
Okay, consent. Anyone want to make a motion?
I move we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that. Discussion?
I would like to pull back 5D, and I have something to say about F1 and 2 and G1.
You
I don't
have
know
something
how
you
to-
can put in the discussion to say about it, or
Yeah,
you?
I don't know when I do that, but that's,
Do you want them off this
Yeah.
motion? You want
Yes.
to take them off?
Okay. So you want to amend your motion?
I'll amend my motion to include the consent agenda items A through C, E, and G2.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. You're up, Bob.
with regard to 3070, page
Why don't we start with D?
D.
You said you
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to take D
All
off.
right. The reason I want to talk about that is Carolyn came home with a blue bag, and I noticed the tag on the inside said "Made in China." Why are we paying somebody to get stuff out of China and not here? Why can't we brag about "Made in the USA"?
I'll take that one, I
Okay.
suppose. Yeah, I imagine, Bob, when we went to price those out, that was probably the best deal available. Unfortunately, a lot of goods these days are made in China. Like, companies move there so they save cost, and we have an obligation to taxpayers to save taxpayer dollars. So I don't even, to be honest with you, sometimes when we look at goods, I don't even know that there's an option for made in the USA stuff. You go to, I remember Walmart used to promote themselves made in the USA. Well, even a place like Walmart, they used to pride themselves on that. You go to Walmart and you look at the tags, most of the stuff is made in China or other places. So
I'm assuming it was an American company that we ordered it from.
sure. I might. Are you talking about this? So it was like a library bag.
Yeah, it was a
that-
blue bag.
I know that I don't want to put Jan Marsh on the spot, but I know that Jan Courtney did that. Do we recall the company that we ordered from, Jan? Sorry to put you
Yeah,
on the
it's
spot.
it's an eco-friendly company that's local, and, we have to balance the cost. There are made in USA options, but they're usually more expensive, so. Is this a book bag?
Well, Carolyn had the blue one. I haven't seen any others, so. But are we arguing like $3 difference or a 50-cent difference? And would the patronage be willing to adapt to that higher cost?
We can look at that next time. That's a good suggestion.
I would like to brag about.
I prefer it too.
The reality is most of the ones made in the USA are made by robots, not people, though.
Yeah, but it's
You're
still
not really-
made
You're not really helping.
USA.
Okay, would you like to make a motion on D then?
Yeah, we'll let,
Can we do it all together?
You wanna wait and do it all? Okay, that's fine. All right, how about the policies, Bob? What did you wanna say about those?
on food allergy for 15, we have age requirements on in a lot of different areas for children. Okay, and in reading this policy, I don't understand. I mean, a 14-year-old, if they're allergic to peanuts, they understand that they gotta check their food, okay? Anything younger than that, I would think we could or should have a statement in there saying that parents buy the food. Because if the child buys it, now they're coming after us. And, I mean, that's how I see it. And if we can do it for running around the library and the parent is responsible, why can't we make that same thing available for, or with regard to the food? And place the load on the vendor, not the library, or the parent and the vendor.
You're talking about the food that's for sale in the vending area? Because this
And-
policy has to do with food that's served at library
It's all,
programs.
anything relative to food and the library.
Well, at bullet point 3, it says responsibility for monitoring a minor's refreshments rests with the minor's parent, guardian, custodial caregiver. So that's within the policy. So I think that would cover anything, whether it's, if something's bought from the vending machine, whether they bring it in.
And what age is minor?
Anything under 18.
Should that then be stipulated?
The word minor already does. That's,
All right. Onward and upward.
Did you have one on 4030?
Yeah, page 19. I do read. On page 19, section 2.06 exemptions, it's a certain types of information maintained by WMBLD are exempt from inspection and copying. And then they put in the parentheses that 5I.
The statutory
State standard.
requirements.
Right.
Yes.
I tried looking that up, and I couldn't get anywhere close to it, to what it was.
Yeah, there's a whole section, exceptions, there's a number of them, Bob. I mean, it would take a while to read them. I can make you a copy of this if you'd like.
No, I guess is there a way of putting a short brief in there? Like, we can't copy, monies that, or whatever, I don't know.
It's
But-
very small print and it goes on for about
Naturally.
at least 3 pages. So I don't think that's that's
And also,
realistic.
Bob, in the policy manual, it's our practice, the reason why we put this in here is so that, for a couple of reasons. One is that the law can change, and then we are saying we're following the law. The other thing is that when we excerpt part of the law within the policy, and it changes, then we have to track down in every policy and try to change what we've quoted. And so it's a way to connect to the law without making our editing problems, so that the policy's out of date.
Okay. All right, we'll let that.
yeah. It comes up first item on a Google search. You can actually read through the entire.
I'll
Rather we
take
do
the
this
address,
thing
because
right
I'd be
now.
interested.
Okay.
And G1,
We already passed that, you did not,
Yeah, we took that out.
oh, we did,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, my
yeah.
mistake, sorry.
there's nothing in that levy that pertains to life safety for patrons.
Yeah, specifically, Bob, this one is for building sites and maintenance. So you're correct that this doesn't have anything to do with with safety necessarily. Specifically, we use this, as I said in the memo, for maintenance, repairs, and alterations of library buildings and equipment. So there is a if you look actually at the tentative BNA, and you look at page 54, the public liability fund, it covers things like liability insurance, workers' compensation, safety equipment and supplies. That's where, in terms of the funds, when we do the levy, it's that public liability fund, where, generally speaking, where money for safety comes out of. Okay.
Safety is covered by another fund, is what he's saying. This levy is for another purpose.
Okay.
One comment on this one, since this does directly affect tax and levy, shouldn't this one be a roll call vote?
Historically, George, we haven't, it's been on the consent agenda.
It's always on the
making
consent.
sure.
You good, Bob?
Yeah.
I move we accept items D, F, 1 and 2, and G1 from the G.
No,
No, no,
G1.
G1.
From the consent
Sorry,
agenda.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, okay.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. Let's see, President's Report, page 29, questions, comments? Anyone else have a report? Okay, no one? Correspondence, do we have correspondence? Okay, no correspondence. Public comment? No public comment, okay. Okay, committee reports, page 31, 33. Questions? None? Director's report, you want to add anything?
I don't. I'm just happy that we're, WMPL Limited is behind us, and we've got some, we're well into summer reading, which is going well. So looking forward to Bikers for Books, the fundraising event.
It's going well,
Oh, yeah.
spread the word.
Grand opening for The Point is August 13th, so, which we'll touch on later, but no. Yeah, Bob, you got a question?
Yes. At one point, one meeting sometime back, amongst incidences with me, we had discussed paver bricks for raising money.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is the time to mention that or not, but
Sure, I can talk a little bit about it.
where are we on that?
Not very far. I was hoping to get some information from the Park District about when they did this, and they did not. They did. I guess they did this a number of years ago, so they didn't have the information for me to follow up. But no, it's something that we still want to do. I think, was it a couple of committee of the whole meetings ago? We discussed that this was more of a longer term project. It's not something that's going to happen over the next couple of months.
Okay.
So,
Well-
but I also I'm gonna join Kevin Getty on Thursday to meet with Brinkman, and we're going to they're gonna have some possible options for us just to see like what they have to offer. Not that we're necessarily gonna go with those options, but just to kind of get a feel for what we could possibly do, incorporating the paver idea to raise funds for the project.
Okay, well, for what it's worth, in consideration, the police department across the street did the same thing.
Oh, it's good to know. I didn't know. that.
Yes, and the man that handled the project, his name is Tom Agos.
I know Tom, I guess. Okay, good. Thanks for that tip.
He's the one that put that whole program together. And it was successful if you've ever looked down as you walk in.
I will talk to Tom Megas about it. Thank you. That's great. That's good
Yeah.
feedback.
Okay, point staff.
So the sign was installed.
Oh, I have to go look.
Yeah, it looks great, and essentially the point is complete. We still are waiting for some of the technology. We've ordered some iPads that are going to go into the point. The plan initially, at least, is to check out the iPads and see how that goes. We also have launch pads that we're configuring. Hopefully, we'll raise enough money to add the Touch It interactive touchscreen. So yeah, so the point is moving along, and other than adding that technology piece, we're in good shape. And the staff are enjoying the staff lounge. I still think we've got that one lingering issue that in terms of like there's some grout work that needs to be complete. It's a minor thing, but we definitely want them to tap that loose end before we actually call that project complete. So yeah, no, I mean we're pleased that those projects are finished. Well, they last a little longer than we wanted, I think, but at least they were under budget. That's the key. So
Bob's got a question.
yeah.
You mentioned for the point, we had 2 kinds of pads.
Yeah, so there are, in terms of technology, a few of the iPads will have this educational software. The name is escaping my mind on it. They also plan on adding other educational apps on these iPads. And these launch pads,
That's the one.
the kids can check them out, and they're like little tablets that have educational programs on them for the kids in that age range.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that, so.
Yeah,
okay.
they're pretty new. I mean, the Launchpads, this is the company that offers if you're familiar with the Playaways.
Nope.
The Playaways are these devices you can check out, and they're a little portable device you can listen to an audiobook as
Okay.
you walk around or in your car or whatever. It's the same company, so.
Okay, are these launch pads an idea to get that tiny tot, whatever, used to computers or technology to bring him or her into the technology environment? Is that the aim?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at the demographics in our community, now, I guess the schools are giving all these kids these devices, I guess. There's still some kids that don't have those devices at home, so it's a chance to bridge that digital divide. And I think that's the world we're moving in, this world of.
That's fine, I just haven't heard of this stuff.
Yeah, no,
But
that's
the-
fair.
But
That's-
Bob,
yeah.
the point though isn't the tiny tots aren't the ones using it in the point. It's older kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there are
The ones in between the tiny tots and the vault kids.
the early literacy iPads did get moved into the Cocos Cove, so that technology exists for them as well.
All right. I can accept that.
Yeah. So.
Okay, all right, new business. First one up is policy 2013. Anyone want to make a motion about that?
I move we accept policy 2013.
I'll second that. Discussion?
Now, I understand where Andrea is coming from. Is this like overkill? I just, down the road, and I just hate to see us get hung up about having a external CPA. Did you run this by Doug or by?
I talked to Doug about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
He's good with it?
I mean, he was okay with it. I mean, as I said at the committee of the whole meeting, perhaps you could consider it overkill, but I think it's one of those things where, when you're talking about the library's finances, it's probably not a bad idea to have overkill. I mean, I know what you're saying,
I'm
and
just saying-
it might make it a challenge for us to actually do the process.
And to interview firms, and, I mean, that's pretty thorough.
Although Andrea did also say that it might not be the situation where someone would come to multiple meetings, but where they would give advice over the phone, and that would suffice.
I mean, I understand where she's
I
coming
know.
from, I just
yeah.
don't wanna see us
I can see
get
that.
bogged down about it.
Any other comments?
I had one. I was just curious as to the year restriction that's in there, an 8-year limit and then a 5-year exclusionary period, if I read that correctly.
Yeah, we talked about that at the committee of the whole, I can't remember. I think what she said was that, did you get?
Yes, thank you.
Was that, the 8-year waiting period is for us to discover if there's any problems with the firm, and that really you would probably know it by the time 5 years was up. and so that you could go back to that firm after 5 years if you wish to. Wasn't that how she
Well,
explained it?
No, I think, I think what this was referring to is, I guess the kind of the standard in the field is that, you know, after you've been used someone for 8 years, so your audit, it's best practice to switch.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean you have to stick with an auditor for 8 years, it's just no longer than 8 years, and then you have to wait 5 years to re-engage with the outgoing auditing firm.
Right,
So,
right, so,
just as a, you know, once again, best practices is what,
Mhm.
the way I understood it.
Which that 5 years really is 8 years.
Well,
Not necessarily.
No, it is.
So
Right.
you're with
Well,
a
if
new
you
firm for
engage the
8
firm for
years,
right.
you don't have to stay with
Right,
them, but
right.
theoretically, it would be 8 years.
Right, I mean, probably.
Are you okay with that, George?
I'm okay with it, it just seemed a little excessive.
Oh, I see. The 8 years or the 5 years?
The 5 years more than the 8 years, yeah.
Are we in 8 years now?
It's going to be the audit for fiscal year 15-16 and this fiscal year.
We've
And
contracted
then-
for 8 years with them?
Yeah, and then we'll be doing the search process.
The only concern that I'll voice is it kind of takes away some of our bargaining leverage in working with that auditor. Especially if they know they're in year 7 and can't compete for another year after that. But
Bargaining fee-wise or?
bargaining fee-wise, bargaining priority-wise, if you know you're not going to be coming back to a specific company, they're no longer at the top of your callback list, so to speak. I don't know if that's ever been an issue.
Except if they want to be reconsidered in the future, I would think they
5 years is so long a period, nobody will remember it.
wouldn't care.
It was that it was, no one, they could not be reengaged for a period of 8. So Andrea recommended cutting that to 5, which strikes me as reasonable.
Yeah, I'm okay with it as it is, I just was wondering if this was discussed, not having been here the last time.
It was. Anything else? Are we ready to vote? Did I second?
Yes, you did.
Second, okay. All right, so all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Such a
I
deal.
think in a
Do you
roll
mind
call.
make it a
We're
roll call,
spending money.
please?
Okay,
An auditor.
all right, let's make it a roll call. Thank you.
Nimi,
Aye.
Caldwell absent, Kotsinis,
Aye.
Farkapisi absent, Deal, Sheldon,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay. All right, next is budget and appropriation ordinance, page 47.
I move that we adopt the ordinance 2016-17-3, amending budget and appropriations for fiscal year 2015-16.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? That was a pretty good explanation. All right, let's have a roll call on this one.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Deal,
Abstain.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Caldwell absent, Farkapisi absent, Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, next is tentative budget, page 51. I'll move that the board adopt ordinance 2016/2017-4, tentative budget and appropriation for fiscal year 2016-2017. Have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Caldwell absent, Deal,
No.
Farkapisi absent, Sheldon,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay. Next is setting the public hearing for the budget and appropriation. The motion is on page 3 of the agenda. Okay, I move that the public hearing for the annual budget and appropriation be set for Tuesday, September 20th at 6:45 PM in the McCullough Room. Second?
I'll second.
I-
Oops, sorry,
I
Nancy.
thought you said we didn't have to do one.
The-
That doesn't mean we shouldn't, but I
No,
thought
the-
you said we
the-
didn't have
The
to.
public hearing for the budget appropriation must be done. The truth and taxation hearing doesn't have to be done.
I'm
That's when, no, that's
sorry.
okay, it's
I was
confusing.
confused by that too. I
It's
had to
con-
go back.
No, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that as additional information, but just to make everyone aware that that
Yeah.
wasn't an issue.
This is the one that nobody shows up for, right?
Yes,
Uh,
pretty much.
We
I
sit-
think I
Usually no
remember
one shows
somebody
up for it.
showing up once.
Back in 47 or something?
Oh, come on, I think it was in '93.
But
Has a
before
right to
before the
come and
record, this
discuss.
hearing is published, it is open to the public, anyone can show up.
Yes, we
And speak.
Okay, so who seconded? I'm sorry.
Sunimi.
Okay, fine. So, we can have a voice vote on this, right?
Let's make it roll call
Okay,
too.
she'd like a roll call.
Dio,
Aye.
aye. Thank you. Caldwell absent. Farkapitzi absent. Nimi,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay. Iplar and per capita.
Oh, but I have that in here.
I don't think we do.
No, it was a separate sheet
wasn't in our
that's just to
packet, yeah.
bring with me. No, it wasn't, it was just a report.
Mm.
I think basically what I was going to tell everyone about this is that we are, like, Gina, do you recall the dates you have? in front? Oh. Okay, thank you. So in terms of requirements, Andrea and Sue reviewed the minutes from FY 15-16. Minutes from the June 2016 meeting will be including in this is something that's required. IPLAR will be presented at the Committee of the Whole for review. It will be ready for approval at our next regular meeting, August 16th. The submission date is on or before September 1st. And then the per capita dates have changed. We'll receive it in October, and the due date will be January 15th, so that's the 16th. So that was the update. Thanks, Gina. Any questions?
What would you say is the probability of us actually getting any money from the state?
Oh, the per capita grant for fiscal year 2017. Oh, geez, George, that's a tough question. Can anyone answer that? You know, I was starting to get pessimistic that we would receive the per capita grant for the past fiscal year, and we did. So, who knows? Who knows?
I got money for state capital refurbishment.
That's all donations.
Yeah. But obviously, I'll keep the board posted any information that we receive. But who knows? Yeah.
Okay, next is semi-annual review, and it's at your place, just so you are aware what Nancy and Tom have recommended. Do you want to say anything about it, Nancy?
Well, just at this time, Tom and I feel that all of the minutes that are currently closed should remain that way. Should there be a motion that the minutes to the recordings to be should be discarded? Should we have a motion for that?
Yeah, it is an action item. I think the motion would be sufficient to say that we accept the report as presented, and to carry it out, then you would carry it out once it's accepted.
How about phrase that as accept the report and,
Let me try it.
okay,
I move that we accept the report as presented and that the board authorize the actions that are so noted in the report.
I like,
I'll second
okay.
that,
good. Do you want a roll call on this?
please.
Roll
Caldwell absent, Farka Pipsy absent, Sheldon,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Deal,
Aye.
Beckwith,
call. Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, so I think since Andrea's absent, we'll, that was, Andrea, you weren't doing that tonight, right?
I wasn't, but I have
Oh, but you
something,
have
'cause I knew she
something,
wasn't
okay,
coming.
great.
So this is kind of last minute, but
Okay.
so I just thought I would share with the board some of the things we do for outreach to the schools. Specifically, this flyer covers K through 8. And you may not be aware of some of these programs and services we offer to schools in terms of outreach. It includes things you might think about, book talks, but it also includes things such as introducing our databases to teachers and students. One database in particular that I would like you to be aware of is tutor.com. And tutor.com is interesting because it's not necessarily just for students. We actually have a staff member here that she's used it to get help with Common Core math to tutor her son because she didn't learn math via Common Core, right? So it's a really powerful tool. And this is real online live help from professionals. And also we offer services for students with special needs as well. So just some things you might not be aware of.
That sounds fun. Okay, thank you. All right, items for next, for the regular board meeting or for committee of the whole, what do people have? Nothing? Really?
Well,
The policies?
George, don't you have some?
Well, those are already on the
Policies.
I mean, in addition to what was already, he's already got policies going for next time.
We're pretty much buildings and grounds. How about that?
We're-
Parking lot.
Can you talk about parking lot?
Spots. Those wasted spots. Are we closer to getting it restriped?
Yep.
Good answer.
Yeah, the wasted spots.
Okay.
We
Paul?
actually, well, that's a good point.
Anything else? Okay.
Wow, so there's no buildings and grounds, there's no personnel, the
No,
finance and
personnel's kind of on
policy?
hiatus because we did
Yeah,
all the ones
yeah.
for this year, yeah.
Wow. I mean, just,
Yeah.
it should be
Yeah.
a quick meeting.
Okay. Unless, I mean, I will ask Tom if he has something.
This does not, in terms of the committee of the whole, we're gonna talk about a couple of things, like we're gonna talk about the intranet for the board, we're going to talk about where we're at with capital needs assessment.
Right.
So there are, a number of
Right,
topics.
I got all that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, public forum? Okay, announcements, I just had one thing, in addition to what's on your paper, on your agenda, which is, where's that one? So, for those of you who might not know, we have not had a librarian as the Librarian of Congress for decades, and now we do. And her name is Carla Hayden, and she was recently appointed. So I'll pass this around. Kind of a good day, in my opinion. Any others?
I have something.
Please.
Just so everyone is aware, Gurney Days is celebrating their 44th year, and that's August 12th through 14th. The parade will be Sunday, August 14th. The theme is Gurney Days Goes for Gold. And if you would like to participate in the parade, you're more than welcome. I'm trying to remember, like Andrea, and I think Joe.
Yeah, I went last year.
last year.
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles will be in the parade. So it's going to be,
Will they?
it's a good time. So if you are interested, please let us
Okay.
know.
The
And if you
alumni, is the Warren alumni band gonna be in it?
in the parade, probably. Yeah, it's their 100th year anniversary. So
Yeah. Last time I heard them play, they got tired of playing the music they were supposed to, so they just started jamming and everybody it was like New Orleans.
Oh, nice.
Wait till next spring, I think there's gonna be a big jazz event of wonderful former jazz players from.
How would you know that?
I might know something about it.
She's heard
I think I might know the
rumors.
person planning it.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
Ryan, excuse me, can you add about our rib eaters?
Oh yeah, we are going to participate in the rib eating competition. So Eddie Christon, who was here earlier, and Juan Munoz have stepped up to the plate to compete. So we'll see. I hopefully those guys can. It's good just to be represented, but I think they'll be competitive. We'll see. But go cheer them on if you get a chance.
okay. Do you need us to do anything for the Point grand opening other than show up?
Please come to the.
Well, we will come, of course, but do you need anything else?
I don't think so.
Any
It's
other
going to
jobs we
be
can do?
pretty low key. We might ask the president of the board to say a few words.
I'll work on that. Okay. Anything else?
Bikers for Books on August 28th. We're working really hard to make it a successful event. You should start seeing flyers around town. You should have flyers on your email if you need any flyers, know anybody that has a motorcycle or a car or just wants to come to a good event. Spread the word. There'll be some good raffle prizes and everyone's welcome.
Well, the police department will be pseudo-represented.
How is that?
There's a biker gang made up of police officers.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know very well the one from Waukegan with the mayor, yeah, of Waukegan.
Gurney has one.
Well, they have flyers, what they've been told.
So,
They've been told it will not be an escorted ride, but it will be a marked ride.
Any other announcements? Okay, anyone want to move to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? We're done.
7:40.
7:40. Pretty good.